I think you need to start the YouTube live uh, stream first, confirm with me, and then start recording. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey
Because right,
everybody, it's Soger. This is our third start because, like usual, we're just doing great on getting the stream going. I got Comrade Kane here, and we're looking at his turn 50 of the Russia save.
the beautiful safe. What's up, guys?
Yeah, we're going to just be talking through our Russia versus America, Peter versus Lincoln save game on the same map.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're
so,
not gonna spend a lot of time on Russia because there's nothing special about it. Even though I did win on turn 229, but it's Russia. It's meta strategy with the faith and work ethic and whatnot. But we just wanted to talk a little bit about the my game just to identify any mistakes, maybe, or opportunities that were missed.
Yeah, and I will admit the Russian start is not that great in this. Just from what I saw in my game, what Russia had to deal with when I went in there, they were pretty barbarian heavy. And that could be a problem. And that's the thing I always say about Russia. Russia
Yeah.
has a hidden weakness of every barbarian that spawns around them is your problem because depending on which tundra line you spawn on, no one's going to be above or below you. So if there's a barbarian above you, it's 100% your problem.
Exactly. And, unlike in your game where you had city states fighting the barb wars for you, I didn't
well,
have much, even
well,
though,
in fairness, I am America. We don't fight our own wars.
there you go. There you
Yeah,
go. But yeah, but it's turn 50 here.
yeah.
So I am still in the ancient era. Um,
You are still heavily in the ancient era. What
and
did
I'm still waiting for my era score.
where did your science go? Oh, I guess you went to archery because you're dealing with barbarians.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yep.
looking and I was like, you haven't even got irrigation done. You have three irrigation luxuries, but I
I
guess
know.
that makes sense.
It
That
was
that does.
really rough. It's turned 50, and that's why I was rushing the settler out because I'm like, I need three cities by
Are
the
you
end
gonna
of
get
the.
how many turns are left in your? You're not even get your third city out unless you settled on the floodplain. Did you settle on the floodplain just to get three cities?
I think I did. I think I did. I don't remember. But I mean, this start was
Yep.
a little slow, but it picked up. It picked up further down the road.
Well, that's good.
But I got some pretty decent resources with the horses, especially. So you would think that maybe some kind of a conquest war would be possible, but I never got to it either.
Why?
So
Why didn't you just go down and take out America?
yeah, I know, right? Oh, because America, by the time I was ready to go take them down, and look at them. Somehow
How?
his science like blew up within the next
Yeah.
20 turns.
What is going on? How come America is doing so well compared to like? I mean, I did
It's
well,
a
but
it's a real world reflection.
yeah, yeah,
What
it really
hasn't.
is. I take it America did not go desert folklore in this. Nope, they went Earth Goddess. I would have never picked that.
They didn't need it. See, the AI didn't even need desert folklore, unlike you.
Yeah, see,
So,
like, but look at how bad their stats are compared to mine.
but anyway, so the next turn I have is turn 100, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and load that up. But no,
But
that
I'm following the same logic here, right? Building holy sites, get into work ethic,
yeah,
setting up the religion basically, and then just settling cities along the tundra. And I actually did settle cities towards America to forward settle to make sure they don't expand,
yeah,
with a thought of a further future conquest. It just never materialized. I basically played a peaceful game because these AIs and the geography that I have there just didn't allow for anything
yes.
opportunistic.
Sometimes if the AI goes heavy science, especially if you're going for a fast win and they just get like a good start, or you wind up with like a Korea, Scotland, something like that. Sometimes it just isn't worth it to go war, because war, you have to win the war for it to be for it to be valuable. But you have to win the war with limited resources invested. So that's why I always say a tech advantage beats almost everything in war. So if you can get, you want to get the tech advantage, you want to get to crossbows before them, you want to get to man at arms first. If you can't do stuff like that, you're just wasting resources that could be spent elsewhere. And that's really what if he's at 100 science at turn 100, yeah, there's
Yeah.
no possibility.
Yeah, dude. That's the problem. When I looked at it, I was like, wow, okay, this is
Yeah,
not.
he's putting out. Oh, he's double 100 at. Those are my kind of numbers. You're linking it like
No,
like
no.
like those are like the kind of stat and Maya as well. What happened in your game?
Dude, every game we look at, this is what's happening because I mean somehow they just have and look at Shaka, the same thing. I mean, he's not far behind.
No, he
So
like Shaka was a really strong civ in my game. Korea like put up a pretty annoying defense. The whole other continent was made out of paper. Like I
yeah.
just
Yeah,
I
I know,
just
right?
steamrolled the other continent. But like Shaka, Korea, they had like really good defenses that were on par with mine when I went into them. But they are like that is insane. He even built the Colosseum right where I
He
built it.
stole the Coliseum from me.
Yeah. Well, I guess my Colosseum
That's
was like over here, but still. But
and
that's
his Petra though, I mean, I think he gets like one. He doesn't get any desert tiles. He built it in New York,
yeah.
and he doesn't have any desert tiles.
Well,
That's what's
in
fucking weird.
fairness, he's supposed to be America's supposed to be me in this game, and that's where I would build the Petra. Except for it would be in the capital, and I would have got two envoys for it.
The funny thing is here, right?
Yep.
He settled his cities similar to how you settled
Yeah.
going up north, right?
Yep.
Isn't it similar? I mean, you went desert
Yeah.
folklore, so you settled the desert, but otherwise, it's very similar.
Why
I was
I
like,
don't
wow,
see why you would settle Boston if you don't have desert folklore right here. That city does not make any sense unless that was the Petra city. But that's one of those
but
Petra
it's not.
settles where you're but that's
It's
one of
not.
those cities where you're settling it for the future Petra. That's a
I don't know if it
debatably
was.
bad city.
Yeah, I don't know if he was going for the resource grab, like with the gypsum over there,
Yeah.
because Cincinnati is the same type of thing. There's turtles, but there's nothing
But that's a
great there either.
decent city. You're getting gold. You have workable tiles. I
Yeah,
mean,
but it's nothing,
yeah,
special. At that point, I think America is running into space issues too.
yeah, and that was
Where
the thing is you don't have a lot of good land to settle as America here. If I had
yeah, you're
not
kind of
got desert
jammed in.
folklore,
Yeah,
I would have had to have gone to war much earlier because this is really all you have right here. And I made the best of it, obviously, in my game. Uh, but there's not you're only getting like about 5, 6 cities without desert folklore. This is just a waste. Like this city, I wouldn't have settled it. I would have settled Cincinnati a little earlier because what's this going to provide unless there's loyalty
we'll
issues?
we'll talk about America once
Yeah,
we
yeah.
open your
But anyways,
game.
yeah, that's sorry. I just
At
got
this
distracted because America is like putting out amazing stats right now.
It does. It does. Where I'm still at this point, I'm set up pretty well in the
Yeah,
number of cities, and I got the Mahabodhi temple to help me out, so I don't spend the faith on buying apostles, for
yeah,
example. But I'm very limited in wonders. I did the hanging gardens, I think, as well
yep.
for the growth,
Which
just
is
like you.
huge for
Yeah,
Russia because when
yeah.
you're settling these tundra cities, you want to cut off any turns you can cut off.
And this tundra, right?
Yeah,
This tundra map for Russia, look, every city is on the river,
yeah,
almost the Smolensk, the city all the way to the right,
yeah,
all the way to the east. It's on the Wonder. That city is where I built a bunch of different and had a lot of chops.
yeah.
Um, so I built a bunch of wonders there and it worked out really well.
How
But
long did it take you to get over to this wonder and settle
uh,
over here?
oh my God. But you know what I did? I think I sent a settler from like Moscow. So I didn't have to walk all the way from the capital or anything like that. But
Because
it took, I mean, it's turn 100,
yeah,
and I think I
because
have like 8 cities or
yeah,
something.
because Kazan was your second city, right?
Yep.
See, I mean, I don't know if you scouted it out, but I would have been tempted to like just push out this way and
Yeah.
like run that wonder as like a third city.
Barbs, dude,
Oh
barbs.
yeah, God, I forgot.
I had
Cause
to like fight my way through it.
yeah, because I don't know how similar the barbarian spawns are, but there was like a camp somewhere around here really early. There was like a camp somewhere around here really early in my game when I was exploring. So I don't know how similar they were to you, but if you were hit with that, now that you mentioned that, yeah, there's no way you're getting a settler out here.
Yeah, no. But this is turn 100.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it just was a slow settle.
And you
And
have that, and to give you full credit, you have a bad you have like the bad version of a Russia start here because you don't have like a ton of tundra. You have like a nice topper of tundra, which is good. But what's bad is you have nothing to break this tundra up. So there is so many tiles that you have to get visibility on to stop camps from spawning. And also they're like they can build up troops and send like 10 barbarians. Like this is not a good Russia like even though you have all the tundra, this is like a worst case scenario for Russia when you just have like literally a wide continent and the whole top is barren of anything. Because there's no city states or anything up here. So yeah, you got sort of the raw end of the deal there. I'll give you that.
yeah, I mean, at this point, you can make excuses, I guess, in one way or the other. But the end result, if you want to load up 229,
Yeah,
which is the last turn, I mean, it's one of my
that's not
better,
bad. Yeah, that's
it's one of
still
my
really
better
good.
games,
Yeah,
actually.
like that is a completely respectable science victory.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And I was able to settle some islands as well, outside of the main continent, and it was a peaceful game.
Yeah,
You know, that's another factor in the science game, right? That
yeah.
that war speeds things up, and I don't know why I didn't try. It's just the way it played
Well,
out.
just looking at turn 100, you didn't have a chance. I'm going to want to see what you're up against on turn 229 because I can sort of gauge where the AI was during the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
because if they're still like, if they're at like 120 right now, okay, you could have jumped into a war. But if they have like natural growth, yeah, it would have just been a loss. It would have just been a waste of resources. Like you have to make a decision, and if
Exactly. Exactly right. And that's where the decisions, like, how do you spend the faith that you're
yeah.
earning, right?
Oh
And
God, again.
Much as our ancestors did ages ago.
Again, you
we lost
I think you just do this to me so that this stuff gets put into my like Hall of Fame.
or you
I,
can delete it from the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna have to.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. No, like
But I think the total number of cities, I don't know. I didn't even get to 20, I don't think.
no, I don't believe so. No, 21. But that's not
Cool.
bad. Like you've got a decent selection to
But
sit
those are
there.
late cities on the islands out there.
Yeah.
So
Because
I
let's
was
see down
building them
here.
because I settled a couple of cities on the islands
For
to swap
chops
out.
down here, because
Yeah,
I found
yeah,
this island too, and those were amazing for late game chops to get lasers out of there.
yeah. I got like
Uh,
3 lasers.
this island was chops as well.
Yep. Well, I think I never got to build a spaceport, but I did get campuses, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And
um,
I see you did the same thing as me. I've actually been building this wonder here, the sports arena. I built that in this game with Abraham Lincoln, and I also built that in my Cree game. And I still think it's a terrible wonder. What is it? Estadado.
the Maracana
Yeah,
or
there we
something.
go. Like, I still am going to say this is a bad wonder. It comes far too late. But if you look at your amenities right now, okay, that does make it worthwhile. It's so specific. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's too late, but it's also there is some space if you're going beyond 200 turns.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, okay, there is a use for it because amenities are getting harder and harder to get,
yeah,
and it will give you that boost in production.
yeah.
Right. So
In my game, I built it because after after what game did we play before? Oh, after Sumeria. When I was looking at how negative my cities were, I made a real effort in this game to keep my amenities high. So I was building a lot more entertainment centers, and that's the better route to go than going full conquest. Is to do a more controlled conquest and to keep your amenities going, and that's where this uh, uh, Estadado de Macan, whatever, however you pronounced it, pays off a whole lot more. But you still have to use a great engineer. If you're putting per turn
Yeah.
production, it's not worth it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I used my great engineer. Did I use it on Amundsen Scott Station? I thought I built it, but
Did you
up
get?
north in Rostov over there. No? Yeah, I think I did.
I is that it right
The-
there? Oh, you built the Golden Gate Bridge.
No, I started it just for fun, but
You
never
collected
finished
a
it.
lot of good wonders. You got is this Saint Basil? Oh no, that's wow.
That's Arganjash.
Yeah.
I've built wonders just to get Era score too at some point.
Yeah, because I also see you got like a good selection here actually. You got Ruhr Valley, not in the capital. Is there a spaceport in the city? Oh, there is. Oh, yep, there
Yeah,
is right
there
there.
is up
Perfect.
north.
So
Yeah.
that paid off. That paid off decently. I see you got Eiffel Tower. That's super.
So here's the setup here, right? Like you can see there's Magnus with his industrial promotions in St.
Yep.
Petersburg, right?
Yep.
Kazan has Pingala with his space promotions,
Yep.
and then Astrakhan has Liang with her promotions. So
To
I'm
send
shuttling
builders. Yeah.
to send builders, exactly right. So St. Petersburg is doing lasers, Kazan is actually doing, or maybe it's the other way around, whatever had more production.
And
for
you
the
built
space
railroads.
project.
I see. Good call.
Yeah.
No, that's a
Yeah,
a really good call. You build railroads from your Liang city to your spaceport city,
exactly.
because that way
Exactly.
you can one turn the builders. Nope, that's a great call. Like when I saw the city location, I was like, if he doesn't have railroads, I'm going to be really disappointed. But nope, you have them. That's good.
And I have the Eiffel Tower to build some parks, essentially, for some era score and amenities as well.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing.
That's the thing, right? Like
yeah.
in the science game, you still build parks. And
Well, you still
build
need
parks,
amenities. Yeah.
You still need amenities. So the mountain, the ski resorts, and whatever else.
And one thing that I think people don't realize, well, one, you got to stay in golden ages if you want to win as fast as possible. There's almost no way to put up like a really good victory if you drop out of a golden age. The bonuses are just, monumentality is just so major. But two, if you're doing really good, you run up your era score, and and the better you're doing, the more of those one-off era score things you run out of, which turns into a problem. Because like what you're doing here, building wonders, that's why my wonder heavy strategy sort of evolved. Is I needed something to just get era score. So all right, I'll just build every wonder I can.
Exactly. And at some point, I don't know if I built the Taj Mahal here, but
Yeah.
that wonder, that useless wonder, as you said,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there are situations where it works. Because
Yeah.
if you know your error score is going to be a little, like if you can't build enough parks, for example.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then I guess it works, you know? And especially if you have an opportunity to plop it down, if nobody built it late in the game
Yeah.
and it's fast. But anyway, that was the game. Which, you know, overall
For a
wasn't bad
peaceful game, 229 is not bad. Peaceful,
But it's Russia.
Yeah.
It's Russia with its meta strategy, so you kind of expect it to be.
Yeah,
decent.
yeah, it's good. If you were closer to that wonder, this game would have looked a lot different because that like not saying
start,
settled
yeah.
on it, but if you would have had access to it
Yeah, the
earlier,
start.
that this game would look a lot different. But having that barbarian, having that huge roadblock really did set you back. And I'm not.
Yeah, I have Amundsen in Moscow. That's where I built it.
Oh, where? I want to see it. Where?
On the right, next to the.
Oh, there we
wonder.
go. Perfect. Excellent. There it is. I go back to, I've gone back to, I don't consider it an actual victory if you don't have Edmondson Scott anymore. I went out of my way in my Cree game to get it. I panic rushed to go get it. I'm back to that. All right, so you want to jump into my game now? Or, I mean, do
Yes,
you have
let's
anything
do it.
else you want to talk about?
I do not. I just don't
How
know.
quickly did you find civilizations? Because
Oh man,
you have,
I'm boxed in. I'm boxed in
yeah.
by this mountain range, right?
I feel really bad because this continent was not friendly to travel in the slightest. Like this terrain was not good. Um, but you definitely got the shorter end of the stick. Like I feel like I keep just pointing out things that were harder in your game just from me looking at the map, but you really did not get a friendly start.
And I was the one who came up with this map,
Yeah.
and I now understand my mistakes, especially when it comes to your game. So start it up.
All right, sorry.
Because when I looked at it for the second time, right,
Yeah.
at America's start, I'm like, oh, he's definitely getting desert folklore. But then I was thinking, like, how would he get it? Where would he get faith from?
Yeah. So where do you want me to start? Where do you want me to start? I'm on. I got the video queued up here because you wanted me to jump to some
My first question
Yeah.
would be like, so you settle Washington. How many chops does Washington have? That was my first
So
thing. When I
many
saw
chops.
it, I was like, holy crap! I just handed him a ridiculous.
This is like my. This is like my like. Like there's no luxury here. There's no any way to make money. But I was looking at this and I was like, I can work with it. Like you gave me, let's
the
see,
stone,
like
the wood.
3 full
I mean,
production woods here, 4 there, 2
like skip to
stone.
the Washington when you settled it.
Okay, yeah, let's
Like a minute or something.
yeah, let's go ahead. All right, so there, settled the city. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up there. There's 7 full production chops. Oh wait, 2 more up here. That's 9. That's just full production chops. I have double digit of, if I'm not mistaken, when it was all said and done. Plus, there's all this rainforest.
Yeah.
This right here is like this right here is like a perfect this right here is like a perfect speed game city because look at how much you can do here.
I know. You see, this is the big difference from Russia that actually came with a lot of tundra, well, some tundra, but not a lot of chops
Yeah.
comparably. And if you can get chops at your capital and play it right, I mean, and you played it right.
Yeah.
Because like at what then if you skip to the next chapter, you
Yeah.
get a relic. You get a relic on what? I don't know what turn that was.
It's turn. Let's see, what turn is this? This is turn
11.
Yeah. It's turn 11. I got a relic. With a builder I got from a tribal village. And the entire time I'm saying, hey, Kane picked the map. This isn't me. Like, this isn't me doing this. Like, so.
Yeah. And at what point did you explored enough here to make a decision? Desert folklore is a play rather than goddess of festivals. Because you looked at those plantations, and you were like, oh, okay, there are some. I can go with that. And then you're like, oh, there's desert.
Yeah, because I
and
sent
once
my
you
warrior
picked up a
this way.
relic, but once you picked up a relic, you're making +5 faith now.
Yeah.
Now you can definitely get desert folklore.
I still was worried I wasn't going to get it. Because like Desert Folklore and Dance of the Aurora are those ones, like you could get a relic on turn 1 and somehow they're still not available. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And I wonder if you met Candy first. I don't remember. But
yep, I got first discovery on Candy.
See? So it's like things just played into your hands so well here.
This is your map. I remember like when I found Candy, I was like, okay, you're playing a joke on me. Like what are you doing? Like, because I've literally like said to you before, you know, I think I might remove Candy from the city state pool because I can just utilize it so well. And
I know. You have Candy on one side, you have Fez on the other.
All right here. I sell my relic to Korea on turn with at 20 faith. because I roll the dice on turn 14. I
I
sell the
know, right?
relic for all the gold to get a builder, or not to get a settler. And then I buy all the gold I can get my hands on as well. And I'm just like, well,
And
let's
this is
get a settler out.
and this is like a big question, right? For newer players, like I get a relic. Why would I sell it, right? It's
Yeah,
got some yields with it and whatnot, but this is what you get. You get a settler. You get a
yeah.
second
You
city early.
sell the relic because not only do you get the settler, but unless the civ that you sell it to uh undervalues it early game, you're almost guaranteed friendship with them. Because I was like, what, I think Korea started at like -8 with me, and I secure a friendship really early after selling this relic, and that
Yeah.
played out really well for me.
Yeah. I mean, but that's I mean, what better start can you possibly wish for? Like, but you're going to settle your second city. Like, what are your thoughts right now? Because if you skip to the next chapter, that's where you settle
Yeah,
Baltimore.
I think
Now,
I'm on sell relic for a settler. Oh, I settled for desert folklore,
for
I think.
desert folklore.
Yep.
Yep, yep, exactly.
And that was just because, and I say it in the video. This is an okay city without desert folklore. If I didn't get desert, if I wasn't in a desert folklore race or whatever you want to call it, I would have settled down here by the bananas. This is a far better city over here in this open area. But with desert folklore, you're looking at a +6 holy site. You couple
Hmm.
that with monumentality. Even like I settle pure desert cities because that faith is just so, it scales so strong in the early game. If you're getting these adjacency pantheon holy sites. Yeah, and I'm also denouncing Georgia because I want to make sure I can keep my wars flowing.
Well, see, that's my question. Like,
Yes.
my next chapter is like how you manipulate these joint wars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, what is your logic exactly? Like, you make a decision to denounce Georgia because why? You don't have any friends right now. So, like, what's the logic there?
My logic is in 5 turns, if I have foreign trade done, which in 5 turns I'll have foreign trade done, I can go to war with
Wait,
them.
wait, wait. So you denounce Georgia knowing that in 5 turns you're gonna have foreign trade.
Correct.
Okay.
So
See, I didn't put that two and two together
so
there.
I
I'm like, why
denounce
is he
Georgia
denouncing Georgia at this particular
because
moment?
if you also look, Georgia is not a threat to me in any way.
Right, right,
So
right, right. It's
so
far.
worst
Okay.
case scenario, I just declare war on them. 10 turns later, I make peace, and I can start trading with them again. But the
But you don't
gamble
know if
here,
anybody would go to
yeah,
war with you, right?
no,
You don't
no.
know yet.
Sometimes they say no. Sometimes you get nothing. But
Mhm.
I'm gambling because what's the worst that can happen? Georgia has a civ and a city state between me before they can reach my territory.
Right,
So
right.
what are they
It's
going to
safe.
what are
Yeah.
they going to do to me?
Yeah,
Um,
and it's funny that you have a scout next to Georgia just for an opportunity to what? Maybe pillage, maybe grab a builder or something like
yeah,
that. It's
I tried, but
that's
like
far.
there was no good territory for
Right,
it.
right.
Like
Okay.
and that's the thing. Like if you're going to do a war, like and you're around them with a unit, like try and get a pillage because pillages are so strong at all stages of the game. If you get like a campus or a holy site pillage, that's like 30 to 40 faith for a holy site pillage. That's insane in the ancient era. The amount of yields you're getting for that, for just the AI not paying attention to where your scout is huge.
But it's crazy. I still like I don't know how many joint wars you started in the ancient
All of
era
them.
here, but it was like four or something, and every single one of them was like so much gold. And I mean, you got a relic, you got a relic back
Yeah,
for
yeah.
going through.
That's my favorite thing. You name the chapter "Joint War Manipulation" because I get Russia to declare a joint war against Maya, and then like later on, I get the relic I sold from Korea back in a deal for a joint war again, because they
I
had no
know. I was
money, so
watching
I
it. I was
just
like,
took the
oh my God,
relic.
this is crazy. I mean, it just worked out so well. But
Yeah.
listen, the other thing was like looking at like the next chapter is called trade route estimation.
Yes,
Where
yes,
like
yes.
you got your first trade route and you're like sitting there counting tiles, which I
Correct.
understand that you trying to estimate how many turns it would take. But
Correct.
don't you get turns showing like on that menu, right? When you get your trade route, like how long it's gonna take. So why were you like counting them?
Habit from playing on iPad and stuff. I still have mods and everything, but when I played on iPad, trade route has to go 21 turns minimum before it ends. So you want a trade route that lasts 11 tile trade route from city center to city center is perfect because that's the shortest
Mm,
possible trade route. So I because I'm sending an international trade route, which is weak. They are not good in the ancient era for any civ. Um,
but
so
you're sending it because you want to get suzerainty, right?
Exactly. So I wanted it over as soon as possible. So usually, if I'm sending an international trade route for Caesarity, I'll send it from a city that's close to a barbarian camp and hope it gets pillaged. Or I just want the one that mathematically is going to be over the soonest.
Oh, this is an interesting technique. Let's send it through the barbs
Yes,
just to get. Oh man,
because if I
that
like
is like
here,
that's a
actually
pro tip right there.
let me back up just a hair. Like it's gonna just take a second here. I'm sure there's a way to do this. Oh no, that's not right. There we go. Perfect. If I would have settled a city right here, I would have sent it right through that camp because the trade route doesn't have to complete to get the envoy. You get the envoy the second you send it. So if you're
Mm,
at war, if there's anything, send it from the place it's most likely to get pillaged. Yeah, you lose the trader, but a trader's what, 180, 200 gold.
yeah,
If you do really well in an ancient era, it's 200 gold in the ancient era. But at that point, what would you rather have? Would you rather have
yeah,
200 gold or an envoy? For
yeah.
me, that's a no-brainer. If there was an option to pay 200 gold for envoys from turn one, I
Uh-huh.
would I would probably never buy a settler. I would have so many envoys because I'd have Caesarity on every single city state I met. So that for me, that's a no-brainer. So either send it the shortest or most dangerous route.
Ah, that makes sense, man. That's awesome. Okay, that's
Yeah,
pro tip. That's
I
pro
mean,
tip.
I
All
mean,
right, what's the next?
yeah,
The
people
next
are a
thing
little
is
scared of like losing things that they
yeah.
spend money on.
Mm-hmm.
Where like
Mm-hmm.
that's not like no. Uh,
Exactly.
so Candy Relic start. You have
Yeah,
that.
dude, because you immediately you see candy, you want to get
Oh
suzerainty,
yeah,
right? And they had the quest that you would be like, oh yeah, I can totally do it. And
no. The
then
second I see Candy, my focus is 100%. How do I get Caesarity of that as soon as possible?
mhm. Yeah,
Because
and because it makes your start like this whole ancient era just worked out so well. Worked out, but also the way you played it. Taking an opportunity, full advantage of every opportunity that you had there.
yeah,
That's
and right away, my capital, once I get the Holy Site done, I'm going right into Holy Site prayers because I got that adjacency religion. That's going to be a plus 5, 6. I forgot what I wound up in the capital, but plus 5 or 6, which is going to be 5 production minimum, which is huge. So I'm trying to get my religion right away too. So I stop production on everything, and everything is gold based after I get that Holy Site down.
yeah. And then the next chapter, I was just showing like how city states are fighting the wars for you, fighting the barbs for you.
Yeah. No, that
It's funny. There was a camp, right? They're just sitting
yeah.
there. You kind of ignoring it like you usually do.
Well, yeah.
You're
I mean,
sending a settler out and whatnot.
yeah. I'm sending a settler right through this mess right here. All those barbarians. But I looked at how the city states were, and I'm like, well, they're not going to abandon me. So I'm
And
just
the
gonna
way
go
you
set.
settled, but the
Yeah,
way you settled, if like you skip to the next one,
yeah,
2851 mark, the LA is settled off freshwater, like right there when you're standing. So instead of
yep,
like waiting or escaping with a settler to be like, you know what, I'm gonna settle on that hill or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? You could still escape
Yeah,
here.
I could go up this hill.
technically.
I could go settle on that cattle. That's a decent city up there. It's not the best city, but
But you
it's
settle in
doable.
place right here.
Yes.
Like, why did you settle right there? Like,
Why did I sell right there? Because it was
because it
the
has no water. Like, what?
because I wanted to our I I wanted to settle as close as possible because I want to fit as many cities into this desert as possible. So that got me as close as possible,
Oh,
and then allows me to settle more cities to the south. The
oh, so
farther
you're
into the
already thinking
yeah,
that you're gonna settle
I'm gonna do
more
so many
desert.
trash cities. So you look, if I settle here, 1, 2, 3, I can settle
Yeah,
on that sheep.
yeah.
3 from there, I can settle down here. I got three,
Mhm.
4 cities in that desert. Access to water is nothing compared to two desert folklore holy sites. Like, what would you rather have? Two free housing when you settle, or the ability to slap down two more +6 holy sites?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, that's a no-brainer for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
See,
going to grow
when
slow.
people, yeah, when people talk about like how many cities you want to sell and how close your city should be, you usually try to squeeze in as many as you can, right? Generally,
Yeah, my answer when people
especially
ask
with like desert.
how far your city should be apart, um, where's the city gonna do the most for you the soonest is the correct answer to that. If it's
Hmm.
6 tiles because you can settle on the luxury and then it has a 3-2 tile next to it, then it's 6 tiles. If it's in this scenario, the bare minimum because mathematically now I can cram all my cities into this desert and have just monster holy sites, well, then the correct answer is right there. The correct answer is always you want the most cities, but those cities need to do something and they need to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Okay. Makes total sense. Makes
Yeah.
total sense. And then so the next thing I was wondering, like Baltimore,
Yep.
right? You are building, you decided to build a granary. And I
Yes.
understand, I don't think at this point you have housing,
Yep.
right? Like there is 5 housing. So it's not like granary is immediately needed. So like you decided to build a granary or build instead of like shrine, for example. Why
Yes.
is that? Or are you
Uh,
focusing on growth first?
I'm focusing on growth. A shrine is going to be important, but I'll buy the shrine. The granary, I want it sooner. Um, uh, like when I look at stuff, buying it is going to give you it right away. Obviously, I think everyone understands that. Um, but I have other things that money could possibly need. So if I want the granary sooner because housing's going to be an issue, it's going to add 2 food, which isn't a lot, but if you look, there's a lot of plains tiles
But
there.
let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't shrine be more important to produce more faith, being that you're going into monumentality age, so that you have more faith early? Because granary you can buy later as well, following your logic. Or is
Yes.
it like I don't know what makes influences your decisions still? Like,
The in this scenario, it was a combination food housing. I had
mhm,
no food here. It would have probably been cheaper to get a builder, but I tend not to think of farms as an actual option, and it's
uh-huh,
actually a bad habit of mine that if I like honestly, I would have been better off getting a builder there than building that granary. That's a poor move, but I was trying to solve the
I
problem
see.
of this city's lack of food with production when builder would have been a better option. But
Just to put some farms down.
yep, but I'm so inclined to never solve problems with tile improvements because I don't like the return on investment that's creeped into my early game. And in the early game, tile improvements pay off, but I'm still ignoring them. And like in here, that decision shows how that's like poorly affecting my decision making. Because I don't know if I would have went shrine, but I definitely wouldn't have went granary if I would have thought, hey, actually, I can just throw some farms down and problem solved.
Hmm.
You know,
Gotcha.
um,
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. But then, like, I noticed too, like, you're obviously saving up some gold.
yep,
And how, because you're saving it up for monumentality age,
Yep,
which generally people are like, oh, you need faith for monumentality.
correct.
And a lot of people forget that you get a discount,
It's
gold.
20% gold and faith. So
Yeah.
your gold purchases are cheaper as well.
Yeah, and that's interesting because once you went into that age, you bought your settlers with gold and then a builder or two with faith.
Yep.
So it's like those type of decisions. Like I don't know what I would have done. I would probably spend faith on settlers. Like what drives that type of decision? Spend gold on this thing or that thing versus faith.
Just what I need to accomplish at the time. How do I explain this?
Well, because it's expansion time, right?
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
want to get as many settlers as possible, and I guess chop out districts as possible as
Yep,
fast
and
as.
I was doing an autocracy rush, so I needed
Oh yeah, the
builders.
wonders. That's
Yep.
right. So like you decided, like let me expand, and at the same time chop out wonders, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's why in my head, I just have to delegate, okay, this resource is for this resource is for that. Um, and to
And I
say,
guess I guess that explains why you went from Magnus
yep,
to pay for the chops into Liang as your
yes,
second governor instead of like Pingala, for example, how everyone thinks.
yeah, no,
Because
Liang,
Liang, yeah,
yeah. And the once again, this is it's all
because you have so
timing
many
based.
chops, right?
Yep.
Like you have so many chops that you already know you're gonna need builders,
And there's
right?
another relic because of candy.
Of course, of
Uh,
course.
but no, but that's the thing. You have to look at your area. People default to Pingala, and I'm not saying Pingala is a bad governor. Pingala's probably the most impactful governor is Pingala. Um, I, but early game, what is he giving you? What is 15% of one city's culture and science in the first 50 turns? It's nothing. What's your population for if you're getting science or culture per population? It's nothing. It's so low. And you're expanding at these turns. Pingala pays off when your numbers are big. He makes big numbers better. He
Hmm.
doesn't really do
Hmm.
much with small numbers. And it's one of those things. uh, Liang has immediate impact, but you have to need builders, and this
Yeah, you have
starts.
to be able to produce
Yeah,
builders, right? To make Leanne worth it. And
yeah,
that's where you have to recognize, like, okay, I have enough faith. I'm generating lots of gold through like joint wars, basically. That's where your gold is coming from. Like, you don't have, right? Like, that's
yeah.
where you get in your gold. You get in that GPT from joint wars, and then you get in your lump sums to trade for it to
Yep,
get more gold to purchase your builders and settlers.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, but like you look at this start right now, and minus this desert that I'm going to settle in the later eras, how many builders do I already need? If you're thinking, okay, everything's got to be chopped out, everything's, you do got to build improvements on like horses and gypsum and all that. You're already looking at, I need at least 10 builders. Well, if
Mhm.
you get Liang, you actually don't need 10 because you're getting every third
Yeah,
builder
you
is
need
going to
like
get you
seven.
a free one. So it's she is she is saving you money right away. Um,
Hmm.
and it's one of those things like the sooner you accomplish something, the better. The sooner you're saving on those builders, the better because it's saving you resources. It's getting one more charge out, which is one more chop. You're getting that chop 5 turns sooner because even if gold and faith isn't an issue, say they're unlimited, that builder's already next to the chop. It doesn't disappear after the third chop. You get one more. You don't have to worry about travel time. So all that stuff adds up. It's all these little like small things that this is happening 1 turn sooner because Liang gave you one more builder charge.
Hmm. And then you use your governor titles to give Magnus provision,
Yep.
right?
Which
Because you're gearing up for expansion.
yep. And this
So explain your logic there with
this is a
provision.
very good example of a situation where provision is a very strong choice. Because all my cities are like plain cities, except for my capital. I got plain city up here, desert city up here. That is non-fresh water, so the growth is going to be bad to begin with. Um, there's horse tiles, so there's a little bit of growth, but none of these cities are going to grow. If all my cities looked like the capital, where you had floodplains, marsh, all that stuff, I wouldn't have gone provisions. But every population is so vital here, that this is I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of gold. And if I bought all these settlers and lost the population, it would kill me.
Hmm.
If you watch
Hmm.
most of my games, I don't go into provisions
Right.
because if you have like a grassland start with a marsh with a three food tile, no, I'll
Yeah.
just get the population back. I have other
Uh-huh.
governor titles that are going to provide me a lot more than saving population. But I was and like civs like Mali, Russia, really pay off to get that provisions promotion.
Yeah. The
Uh,
ones that struggle with growth,
yeah,
right?
the ones that have good income but bad growth. Kamir is like he has good
Opposite.
income and good growth, so why would you ever waste a governor title on provisions unless you wanted the governor title below it? Like
Uh-huh.
in that scenario, I'd rather get a jump start on okay, let's get Pingala out now so I can get to the great person promotion sooner. Oh, let's get Moksha out to get more faith. There's other better options than provisions, but in this scenario, there was no better option because my growth was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and another shocking thing for me was that you didn't even go on money. I
Yeah.
was like, holy crap, he doesn't have a money travel in the world, meaning that you
Well, and
were
that's an even
feeling pretty comfortable with your era
yeah.
score.
Well, getting I knew I was gonna be able to get candy because the quest was easy.
Right.
Getting desert folklore meant I was going to get a +6 holy site. I had met a couple of civs by the time I got my governor title. At that point I was pretty comfortable. It was really close at the end though. I started regretting my Amani decision.
Mhm.
Really, the last few turns I was sweating, but I managed to squeak it out. But also, settling here, I knew I was going to settle a desert city. I knew I was going to pick away at those small era score things.
Yeah, and you were able to snatch that barb camp out of
Yep.
the city state's hands. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. Well, listen, what about religion choice? So the next chapter is you obviously work ethic. I understand
Yep.
that, but holy order, like in this case, like I guess I understand. The more faith I'm making, the more opportunities I have, like to build, to get more builders, and then Grandmaster's
Yep.
Chapel. Obviously, there's use for faith with great people as well. So, like Holy Order to me is like, well, why would I need to buy missionaries and apostles? Why not go with colonization, especially when you have desert folklore?
I'm actually, this is going to be a one-word answer.
Hmm.
Fez. Fez was
Oh,
in game. I am a huge fan of supplemental science from Fez. So if I can send a missionary, and even if it's only 20 science, 30
yeah,
science
Fez
each.
is strong, right? When you can do it.
Yep. Early game, it's sort of impactful. Late game, it's not
Yeah,
as much. But
yeah.
late game, it can get you two technologies per turn if you're like on the cusp, because you can't unlock two tech. No matter how much science per turn you earn, you only lock one technology every turn. No matter how much overflow, no matter how much anything. But if you pillage, if you use Fez, if whatever, you can unlock two technologies per turn. So the second I saw Fez, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a point somewhere in
Mm,
this game where my overflow gets me to the point where I can unlock a second tech, and I just need to get one more science. I just need to
mm.
activate something to get one science, and okay, that's Fez. Holy Order it is. And plus, the amount of faith I was going to generate, I figured. You do hit in that middle point of the game, and really this was also a map thing. And I didn't, and this is the problem with my gameplay sometimes, is I'll be talking about something and thinking about something else. I didn't think I was going to be able to settle a ton of cities, so it was easier for me to envision a scenario where I had excess faith because I was going to be generating so much of it than a scenario where I needed more settlers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at the same time, I was like, well, he didn't go with Crusade, for example, either, because in science games, especially when you have limited room to settle, right?
Yep.
You at some point will have to go to war. So that would be another option, but Fez is definitely it's a stronger play early on.
I would never go Crusade in a science
No.
game because it doesn't provide you anything. It takes away from your opponent in the fact that it gives you combat strength, but it doesn't give you anything. Like I
Well,
can
if you go on the conquest, I guess it does,
Well,
right?
yeah. But I always say I would rather get a tech advantage because tech advantage is the
Mm,
strongest, is the absolute strongest combat modifier in the game.
mm-hmm,
Get better
mm-hmm,
units, get stronger units, make it so they can't compete. I don't need to worry about, oh, do I do crusade here or there?
mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm,
then what ends up happening is you get into a religious fight and you're throwing away full faith missionaries, full faith apostles against Russia. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to get into a religious war with Russia early game. That's a way to just throw resources away.
gotcha.
Yeah. So I would
I
never
mean,
do Crusade. Unless it's like Basil or someone. Obviously, if there's like pure synergy where it would be like ridiculous not to.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I also was really hesitant to go full conquest this game. I was checking my amenities a lot more. I was trying to be a lot more controlled in my war, which is another reason why I would not pick conquest any or crusade anymore. Is that watching my Gilgamesh game, I realized how bad the negative amenities slowed me down. I probably should have finished 10, 15 turns sooner if I would have like slowed down and built better districts, like entertainment centers, to get my yields up.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, the amenities, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
And
something to
that's
be.
something like the conversation me and you had taught me. I didn't really taught me, but like it put that in my head, and I was like, "Oh my God,
Mhm.
you're right." Because I don't remember if it was you who said it, but I was like, "Oh my God, he's right." Like I'm killing 20% of my
Yeah.
capitals yields to get three trash cities that aren't going to amount to anything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, and dude, the rest of this game, the rest of the era and the classical era, the
Yeah.
joint wars, man, I just it just like blows my mind because like at this point, the next chapter at 49 minute, whatever,
Yeah.
you go to war with I don't know if it was Georgia, but you get Maya
Yep.
to go to war with you. Like, how do you decide this? Like, like right now, are you like thinking, oh, I need some gold. Let me see who can go to joint war, like completely
Nope.
arbitrarily.
I am doing it on the bare minimum number of turns that I can do the wars from each other. You have to wait 10 turns to declare war on them again. So if you want to be really of like if you want to 100% guarantee it, you should be denouncing them on the 5th turn of peace. Because then your denunciation is right on turn 11 when you can declare war again. And this goes back into
Do you
um,
always denounce though? Like, because like Maya is not your friend,
yep.
right? So it's not like
Nope.
you would.
I look at the grievances and the likelihood of the civilization denouncing you, and this comes into you have to sort of figure if you're like negative 30 on the disposition, they're gonna denounce you. It doesn't matter the civ. But if you're only like 6 or 7 over and they're not like a warlike civ and they're not in a good position, you might want to denounce them. They might not denounce you.
But
You
you're
know.
only denouncing them for the reason of like less grievances, or like,
No,
like why do you need to
you
denounce them?
have to denounce them.
Well, you can start a surprise war.
You can't ask people to join. You can't ask people to join a surprise war. It has to be a formal war.
Oh, so in order to get a formal war, they have to be denounced.
Has to be denounced for
Oh,
5 turns,
okay.
and
I see.
that's why I really like when civs denounce me because you can
Uh-huh.
declare a formal war the turn that you're denounced. But if
See,
you denounce
that's something
somebody,
like I have. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
so that's
Man.
why I was saying you want to look at their disposition. If they're
Hmm.
negative 30, they're going to denounce you the first turn they can. The AI has a cooldown period on denouncing. They can't denounce you until 10 turns after they make peace. They can denounce you right away, but the AI just isn't capable of doing it. It just can't. It's like against code. So
Okay.
like I said, if you want to guarantee you can do it on the fifth turn of peace, denounce them. But that's going to
So
give you negative disposition with everyone else, and you can't ask for a joint war with people who denounced you.
so in a science game, do you like look for an opportunity to basically stay at war the whole time
Yeah,
for
why
the
not? Why not? I mean, here's the thing. I think I'm gonna back away from the joint war in most of my games now, just because it is so powerful. I'm gonna sort of put it in the same thing as candy. Like if I'm doing something ultra ridiculous, yeah, I'll do it. But I think in future games, I'm gonna sort of back off on it. But because there is absolutely nothing that can compete with it. Even getting like 8
I
gold per
know.
turn
Like,
out of
where
them.
would you be getting that gold from? Nowhere, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's to me, it's like, wow, that's a source of gold that is just not there. There are no
exactly.
other ways of obtaining it this early.
Yeah. And that's actually when somebody asked about a pacifist science game, I
Hmm.
was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I can do that because I've done it before. Um, so I went into that, and
Yeah.
you have to be a lot more creative on how you accomplish things.
That's interesting because pacifist, meaning that you don't even not that you can't pillage, but
Yeah.
you can't even declare joint wars
Yeah.
to take advantage of this, which arguably is more powerful, right? Joint
Yeah.
war than pillaging because
Yes, if
it
I
can
had to
happen so
choose one
early.
or the other, I would rather do joint war than pillage.
Hmm.
Now I'm a huge fan of pillaging. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. But it's once again, how soon are you getting stuff accomplished? And even
Yeah,
the best pillages aren't going to get you settlers as early as just getting a
yeah,
joint war on turn like 15.
yeah. 15 and then 22 and then
Yeah.
30. That's yeah, okay. All right. Well, at this point, dude, like, I mean, what is your plan? Because I know next era you get human mentality, you
Yep.
started to expand like crazy. You build anti-monarchy.
Yep. Yep, I get
You
that like
start,
right at the beginning of next era. Here, you want me to pull up the next video and
yeah,
just
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
bounce around? Here, hold
Yeah,
on.
at this point, just tell us your story because I mean, obviously, in the classical era, the goal is to expand, right, and put
Yeah.
as many cities down as you can because you have human mentality, right?
Yep. Well, I'm trying to expand as fast as possible. I'm prioritizing the desert cities because it's still early, where the holy sites are going to pay off. Um,
We're looking at the Russian
I
screen
know
right now.
I just put up Russia while I'm on my browser. Just I don't know what might pop up if I go
Yeah.
to
You know,
internet.
I struggle with joint wars because at some point I'm like, okay, let's do a joint war. And I go into my screen and they're all friends and stuff. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. No one
Yeah,
hates each other. So
I
it's
could
like,
probably
it's
get
a
like three
constant, like you have to
settlers.
be
So
at war
let's
and constantly manipulate them against each
Yeah,
other as
you have to
well.
constantly be thinking of it is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just another one of those things that you have to be like looking at constantly. Um, there we go. Let's go ahead and do that, and then let me also go ahead and perfect. There we go.
Into monarchy.
Yeah, why not? Why
Dude,
wouldn't?
tell me that this wasn't like one of the better starts that you could have wished for.
Well, yeah, I got a great into Monarchy because I got floodplains. I settled on a floodplain
Oh
against.
my god.
I'm also going to say I settled on the floodplain against my will. I said in the live stream that I settled there in the live stream as like just to get the game
You settle
going.
on a rice. Look at that extra food. You
Yeah, I would
save there and
rather
that's
have
it.
the rice to get the Eureka for irrigation. But anyways, I settled against my will,
You
and
didn't
it
even
paid
need
off.
irrigation. Look, it's turn what, 52? You still don't need irrigation.
Yeah, but it's only going to take me 2 turns to research on turn 52.
You had 17 science.
I have 17 science, 11 culture. I have the second most science behind Korea. And I'm competitive in culture. I'm last place. But yeah, it's doing all right. But
Yeah, and the
that was
numbers don't tell the full story though, right? Like,
yeah,
because you
because the
have what,
numbers don't
three
tell that I have
settlers,
two settlers
three
here.
settlers
Where's the third? Oh, 3 settlers. Yep, I have 3 settlers going out. I have builders everywhere, and they're all Amani
everywhere.
builders.
You're building wonders, chopping out Apadana right now.
Yep. I
So
mean,
everything is working out exactly like
yeah,
you
and I've
planned.
got and the thing is, I'm sending all of my settlers to forward settle Russia, and I'm building up.
Because you want to go to war with Russia,
Yeah, and
obviously.
I'm building up
That's
a
the goal
base.
of your game.
I'm building up a base of loyalty by settling all these cities. It allows me to forward settle Russia and have loyalty to hold that city that's going to be right on its borders.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because they're all desert cities. None of them are going to grow for anything. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So skip through like, I don't know, turn 70 or something.
all right, let's go ahead and go like Rainbow Bay.
Let's see where you are at that point. Because I wonder where you settle your cities, because that's always like you have a quirky way of doing that.
What
But
what
you
what do you mean
just said,
quirky?
you just said yourself, I want to forward settle Russia.
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay, hold on. You're already at war here.
yeah.
Like,
I'm already
how
at
do you
war
even,
very effectively, I might add.
dude? So you levied
Yep. Yeah.
units
Let me back
from
up. Let me
where?
back
Like,
up.
tell me
It's
the story.
amazing how much the game changed in 20 turns. Yeah, no, I got right on its borders,
Yeah,
right.
back up.
Okay, let's see.
Wow.
Wow, I conquered him quickly. Yeah, so I get San Francisco right here. I got this city state, and they had like good troops, and Russia was like at
Mm,
18 strength in that city. And I was like, well, it would be stupid not to take that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like,
But
that's
then
just
the other
asking.
cities have walls and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you're like, I'll take one, and then we'll
And
see what
then
happens.
it's like eating invading Russia is like eating chips. You get a little bit of gains, and then you just can't stop. Like ask Napoleon. Like you just start going and going and going. And then you realize you ate all the chips. Now you got to go back home. But yeah,
All right. So Levin, right? So, and you're getting your goal to be able to levy the units through joint wars again.
yeah,
Are you, oh, you're at war with Maya here. So
yeah.
I'm
I'm
sure
at
that's a joint war with
I'm at
somebody.
war with everyone at all times. I could click any time in this video and I'm at war. Look at the wonders. Look at those envoys already. I got Hanging Gardens, which is huge because I got
Hey, you
desert
got
cities.
Oracle? How'd you get
I got
Oracle like
Oracle.
after one turn, what, 60? Like what?
Yeah,
That's
no one
ridiculous.
else built it.
I think my Oracle was gone on turn like 50
I
before
got
that.
Temple of Artemis. That gave me some housing and amenities. That was nice.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
It's
Where's
not the
Petra?
I don't. I
Not
don't.
yet.
I don't have. I did make a good Petra city.
You
St.
did?
Louis. Yeah, St. Louis turned out to be a really nice Petra
Oh
city.
yeah. It has a lot of potential
It
there.
does. Um, and I begrudgingly built a good Petra city. But no, I saw an opportunity to levy a city state that's right on Russia's borders. They had a good troop selection, and I figured I'd get the first city, and if I could get some swordsmen, I could throw them at the walls and see what happened. And then it just kept on snowballing from there. Things kept on working in my favor where I was getting the pillages, I was getting everything. And then it just got to the point where I wanted to put Russia out. I
So here you're like building, you're still building all the holy sites.
yep.
With desert folklore, I guess it makes it easier. If you can, then you should. But the cities that are out there, like you have in the west that does not have desert, your first district would be like commercial hub, right?
Yes.
Because you want to get there. Um,
I want to get trade
mm,
routes. I want to start getting my
yeah,
trade routes to grow these desert cities because these
yeah.
desert cities are never going to reach 7 population on their own. Never. Like there's nothing you can do. They will cap at 3 population, 4 population. I need those trade routes immediately.
Is it Jabal Barkal?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, thank God.
I built it in Baltimore, like right there. You see it? I'm gonna chop that thing out real good.
I see that. I see
And
that.
that's what fueled my conquest of
Man,
Russia. Because I was
my
originally going to
God.
take this city and try and hold it, but when I got
Mhm.
Jebel, I had so much iron. It was like right now I'm clicking to Man at Arms because it's like, I don't know if I did it here or where, but I go Man at Arms because it's like, well, Russia's got to go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's too late. They have too much population. I won't be able to hold this with
And their
loyalty.
science is like low, right? Like
Yep.
Korea has 57, Russia's only at 18, so you know they're like struggling.
And there's nothing they can do now. The most they can do is like slow down. And I levy Fez here because they have a catapult, and that's like all. That's like game over. And that's the thing. Like Levy in the early game is so strong because they have good troops. Because the game hasn't passed. Because warriors are good troops in the early game, so Levy is so strong. But mid game, when they still have like two catapults, it's like so worthless. But like, look at that. I just
Where's your GPT is coming from? Like 70 gold. I assume it's from AI or selling relics or something because
yes,
like there's no source of gold that you have.
I sold some luxuries. I'm selling my horses. Georgia buys diplomatic favor from turn one, so I was
Uh-huh.
really happy to find them because that meant that I could get diplomatic favor sales right away.
And that's another like short video we could make or you could make is like what every civ, how to exploit civs, right? Like Georgia
Yeah,
diplomatic favor, right? Like or who is like warlike and you can declare war of them no matter what and whatnot.
yeah.
Like things like that, would be useful too, I
Yeah,
think.
and if you watch my war with Russia, I pillage absolutely everything. I'm at the point now, this early in the game, that if you have a chance to pillage, even if it might mean it's gonna have to cost you more troops, making that extra faith, making that extra culture, making that extra science is so worth it. Because it's so strong. To get
All
me
right.
down.
So the war is powering you here. Okay. So like what's the stage at this stage of the game? What are you researching? Are you going to Kilwa, I guess, or something like that?
Yeah, I'm going to Kilwa. Um, I'm trying to get to Kilwa because I had a decent Kilwa location in my capital, if I remember. Uh, which I think I messaged you thanking you for a Kilwa location by guilting me into settling where I didn't want to settle. It gave me the opportunity to build Kilwa in my capital.
You built it in your capital? Like,
Yeah,
did you have like enough chops, or did you use like
great
an
engineer.
engineer?
Yep, great engineer. Um,
My God,
yeah, and that was five
I
influence.
literally, dude, I think this is like one of the strongest games you could have, and you have Lincoln. I can only imagine what you could have done because at this point, not a single ability of Lincoln is
Yeah,
useful.
this I have not. Actually, I take back. Not every single one of America and Lincoln's abilities are terrible. The
Like what?
ability to not slot diplomatic cards is huge. I've
Well, but that's
never
America, right?
yeah, I've never realized how bad diplomatic cards really are until I had the opportunity to not slot them. Unless you're getting the two envoy card, most of the game they're just not giving you much.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like right here, I'm set. Like this is where Fez is paying off. I'm using Fez right now to spread my religion and get the added science to get all these things sooner. That's where I
Yeah,
said
it's
the
easier to
second I
spread
saw.
religion there because it's, your pressure is so high now
Yep.
too.
So as you're conquering cities, you conquer the
Hmm.
city, which lowers the population, and then you hit them with a missionary, and it makes that missionary more impactful.
Hmm. And you get in Samara score out of that.
Yep. Yeah. So and that's another thing. Like
Man,
Moprobs
don't just
asked
tell.
Moprobs asked how you felt about my religion being called no Russian.
You know what? I'll tell you this. At some point, I told Soger that you can't really hurt my feelings because I'm just above that. But he works his way up. He actually got to the point where he hurts my feelings. So every opportunity he gets,
Wow.
he, he's actually been able to surpass that, and
Wow. Thanks, buddy.
when I saw that when he was typing it, I knew that he's like giggling inside and making sure that I will be absolutely sad. But no, I mean
Well, I mean, I did share the picture on Discord of when I conquered Peter and I put the Comrade Kane face on it.
you did,
Yeah,
you son of a bitch. That's why we need to play like a multiplayer.
yeah, we do,
Game.
like we
That would be
really do.
so much
I think
fun.
we should get a multiplayer. Maybe get a few other people in there and
Yeah,
not take it super serious.
yeah, yeah. All right. So, like, what's the rest of your strategy here? Like, I mean, you see, in my science games, I guess at some point you decide, like, I'm so big, I can take over the whole freaking continent or something.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what your story was because I only watched the first episode.
My thing was like I've said a couple times.
Like, skip to the next episode. Like, what do you have in there? Like, the next era.
Well, let me just get to the end here. Hold up. Where
Okay.
are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at?
Yeah, you took over Russia. We get it.
I wanted like let's see. I've got 13 cities by turn 90. Oh, Russia is gone. Where did I miss Russia being taken out of the game? I wanted everyone to watch the Russia being conquered cinema. Oh well, it's fine. That's fine. We'll
Yeah,
but
because it's such an important milestone.
yeah, it was. It was a very big milestone for me.
Yeah, but at this point, yeah, I mean, it's just organizing chaos, right? Like once you conquer the cities, you want to be
Yeah,
able
I
to
start
like
cleaning
start
them up.
building stuff, right?
I
Right.
get rid of any barbarians. I repair what I
Now,
can.
let me ask you a question. So the newly conquered Russian cities, obviously they're not in the desert.
Yep.
What are the districts that I mean, I assume they all have holy sites already
Yeah.
because it's Russia.
What if you're looking at a city? It comes down to what am I trying to say here?
Well, because you want commerce hubs, right?
Yep.
Like at some
It
point, you
comes
want to
down to
get.
how fast are you going to get your first two districts. If the answer is not that fast, I'm going to go commercial hub first. If I've got good adjacency and I'm going to get the district sort of fast, I'm going to go campus first because I do want science as soon as possible, obviously, but not at the cost of my other cities having to wait to grow. So it
So
comes
at what point did you build your first campus?
pretty early this game.
Really?
It's turn
I don't see any. Where
turn
is it?
90. I've got a campus. I got two campuses already. I think those are my first two campuses, so they're before turn 100. That's pretty early.
So like, let me see. It's the Cleveland.
Yep.
So Cleveland got a campus as the first
Yep,
district,
campus
the only
first
district.
because well, and I also wanted to get the Eureka for why can't I think? What's the one that requires two campuses?
Okay,
I wanted to get the Eureka for that, but
gotcha.
Cleveland is the perfect example. There's no adjacency for a holy site, so don't even bother building it. It had a lot of chops for population.
Yeah,
And I
but
could
like
also
the
take.
question here is like campus or commerce hub?
Yep, and that's what
So
I'm saying. There's no holy site.
Eureka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of growth. So this is going to get to my second district pretty soon. So I'd
Mhm.
actually rather get the campus first. Because well, one, I wanted to get the Eureka, but let's say there was no adjacency, I would have built the. If there was no adjacency, no Eureka that I was looking for, I would have built the Harbor Commercial Hub first. But
Oh,
let's
so that campus is actually getting you like +3 with a
yeah,
reef and jungle
yep,
or
there's Reef
rainforest.
Jungle, and I also got a
Mm,
Eureka for it. So it comes
yeah.
down like the biggest thing
Man, you're
is,
like really min maxing stuff.
yeah,
Holy
the
crap.
biggest thing is you want to look at because if the city is only going to make one district, and it has no production, that district's going to be a commercial hub, because
Mhm.
that commercial hub is going to give me a trade route for my capital that will help me at the end game, and during the middle, like during the middle of the game, it will help other cities grow. So that city will provide a lot to my empire with just that one district. If it's going to get 3 districts, no problem, really quick. Well, then what do I have adjacency for? A holy site or a campus? Is that second district going to come relatively soon? Okay,
Well,
then I want to get my yields.
well, let me ask you a question. Like,
Yep,
if you pause in these Russian cities, right? Like
yep,
Tula, it has 2 districts already.
yep.
Your next district in there would it be campus or would it be commerce hub?
Commercial hub. If I
Because
have
it
to,
has no adjacency for a campus, or
if I can't get a campus and commercial hub because of conquest, like let's say I can
right,
only, I'm going to take the commercial hub unless it's a really good campus. It's going to have to be a really good campus for me to value it more than the growth of than like these cities. There's no adjacency up here.
right,
So
right.
I'm gonna build commercial hubs. If there's like a plus 4 or 5, 6 campus, okay, maybe I'll look. Is there a way I can like chop, build an aqueduct, something like that to get up to 7 population? But more often than not, I'm going to build that commercial hub because that commercial hub is going to give me a trader. And if you look at any of your games, if you look at any game, the cities you settled in the first 50, 60 turns are providing like 3/4 of your yields. Like they just
Hmm.
are. Your capital is
Hmm.
providing so much.
Core cities, yeah.
Yep. So to be concerned about building a campus in every city is ridiculous. You're not like I do it because I'm going to run uh, uh, campus projects in all of them, but if I have to choose between a commercial hub or a campus, I'm picking that commercial hub because that's going to provide me more length of game. That campus with 4 adjacency and a library is good. Getting my capital stronger is better.
So, but at
Yep,
some point, you switch and you try to grow your city. Like after the commerce hubs are built in those cities, and
yep.
those cities, because they're on the like grasslands and whatnot, you are able to grow them to the next
I,
district slot, right?
I also
And
want to
at that
point out really
point,
quick, I get great
yeah,
library here. I get great
you got
library.
great library.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get great
I
library?
got great library on turn 96. I have no
What
idea
the?
how I got great librry. It was
Man, that's
available.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was available. I think the game just likes to see me win.
The only possible explanation. Now you have monarchy here. Why? As opposed to theocracy, or is it
Because I
just
haven't
because
unlocked
of,
theocracy yet.
so you just switched to monarchy for the hell of it?
To start working on Grandmaster's Chapel as soon as possible.
Oh,
Yeah, I would have preferred to stay in autocracy.
right.
Obviously, that goes without saying. But there's just so many things you have to do.
Wait,
Um,
did you go to Classical Republic at all at some
yep,
point?
I went to Classical Republic early and got the legacy card for it.
But wait, but you started with autocracy, right? I feel
Um,
like you started with
yeah, I
autocracy,
started with autocracy. I went
right?
Classical Republic.
Right. And
Uh,
then what? You switch back to autocracy with anarchy?
nope. I never went back to autocracy.
Okay.
Yeah, so and that's another reason why I switched so early. Sorry, I've
Mm.
played a lot of games
Yeah, of course.
since this game. Like I'm constantly
Right.
playing like a
Yeah,
new
that's the
game.
problem. Yeah, it's
So,
hard to like. Okay. All
but
right.
no, I switched into Classic Republic for 1 turn, so it would be the last government before switching to a new era, a new level of government. So that would be the Legacy card because I think the Classic Republic Legacy card is the best Legacy card.
Right. I always struggle to like make sure I get it because
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have to be used to that flow, I guess, because you can only get it when you build the government building, right?
Yep.
Is that?
Yep,
Yeah.
you get the legacy card when you build the government building. Now it's the active government. So if you're in autocracy, autocracy is the absolute worst legacy card in the game. It is laughably bad. Um, oligarchy, if you're playing a domination game, I could make an argument that oligarchy might be better than classic republic, but one amenity in every city is really hard for me to say anything is better than that. Like that's just so impactful.
Yeah.
I,
One
I'm
amenity, one housing, actually,
Yeah,
right?
one housing, one amenity. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying just
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
part of it, just the
Yeah.
one amenity by itself, that
Mhm.
is so impactful that it's like, okay, I can't not slot this card in for any other option. Even the +4 combat strength for oligarchy in a domination game, when you're looking at loyalty issues, a lot of times lack of amenities is a huge factor in that. When players are having a really hard time holding cities in a domination game, look at the happiness level of the city from yeah, because right here I switch and I do Warlord's Throne that I've had at one turn for like 50 turns because Classic Republic was my last government.
Wait. Hold on. So pause.
Yeah, I paused it. It's turn 97 and I'm going to finish Warlord's Throne. I have one turn left on it.
That is
Insane.
wow. I mean, do you do that often?
I don't want to. It's awful. You're losing a governor title. You're doing all this,
Right,
but
right.
I value that Classic Republic card enough to have sacrificed
Holy
that 20% production. All of Russia could have been giving me 20% production, but I
yeah.
wanted that Classic Republic card because mid late game, that one amenity is going to keep my capital at plus 20% longer, and your capital is producing like any game that anyone who's watching this has, pull up the yields at any point of that game and look at how much more yields your capital is producing than every other city.
Right. Well,
Like,
especially yours here.
yeah. So, like,
13 pop at turn 100
yeah.
as
So
American.
So if you have one amenity in every city that you settle, that means that you're not delegating luxuries to that city. That amenity is covered. So every city, because every city, the game tries to balance it out. So it's taking away amenities from the capital to give it to your other cities. And that's why that
So,
Classic Republic card is so huge, in my opinion.
but explain to me like I'm five here,
All
right?
right.
Classic expression. So you start the your first tier government, right,
Yep.
as autocracy, and you
Yep.
build in all of your wonders and
Yep.
whatever else, and you keep autocracy
Yep.
for basically the whole era, right?
Yep.
You don't switch to classical republic all the way until like right now or
Yeah,
something.
this was because this is a worst case scenario. This is a worst case scenario for
So
my
you
government
wait. So
plaza
you went
building.
from monarchy
Yep.
to classical republic.
Nope. I went autocracy, classic republic for like 2 turns, and then monarchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, this is
Cool.
the worst case scenario. If you see a lot of my games, I get my government plaza down right away and I chop out or I prioritize getting my government plaza building because I'll start in Classic Republic and go into autocracy. But this game, I just didn't have the population. I didn't have everything I needed. I was already working on Wonders. So I was like, well, I guess government plaza building has to wait.
Uh-huh.
So this
Okay.
game was a worst case scenario for my government plaza building, but I'd say best case scenario for wonder acquisition. And then that's you have to balance. I saw a lot of opportunity to get wonders. I sacrificed 20% production and a governor title for a very long time to get Oracle, to get Temple of Artemis, to get and the envoys that came with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
At what point do you plop diplomatic quarter?
Uh
I mean, it's such an easy district to build. It provides like, benefits if you have kill win, suzerainty
Yeah,
with
I
bot
think I
stuff.
plop it like right about now, if I'm not mistaken. Like, if I remember correctly, I put my diplomatic quarter down relatively soon. Oh no, this is industrial zone because
Yeah.
I'm talking about getting Ruhr Valley. No, I don't think I built that industrial zone. I want to say I canceled that industrial zone and I built diplomatic quarter because it was queued and not placed. It didn't
Mm,
actually get placed yet, so I was able to stop it. Or I could be
mm.
wrong. That could be a different game I'm playing. Nope, I actually built it this time. All right. But yeah, the diplomat quarter. I don't care about the diplomat quarter's abilities. Um, I
No.
care more about the one food, one production to domestic trade routes.
Yeah, but at this point, it's like kind of late, right, for
Yeah,
that impact. Or
not really. I'm
no?
still growing cities. I still want to get to. I still want to get commercial hubs and campuses down. It's turned 100, or it's not even turned 100 yet. I still got lots of time to grow new cities.
All right, all right. Well, let's skip to like 150 or something.
All right,
I
let's.
don't know, unless you have some kind of like so you're at war with Maya.
Yep, and that takes forever.
That well, she's kind of like behind the mountains,
Yeah, and
behind
that
Korea.
defensive bonus of hers is massive. It
Uh,
like Maya, and that's another thing. Like you playing pacifist, I think was the right call because Maya has that huge defensive bonus. Zulu, for whatever reason, was just on fire this game. America made Zulu look like they were nothing. Like the rivals on our continent, Georgia's the easiest one, and she prioritizes walls. Like like how does
right,
that work? You know?
right, exactly.
And this,
Yeah, that was this was a tough. Like it's funny, like it's from game to game how AI develops.
yeah.
But man, I lately have a hard time with AI. Like I mean, they're staying pretty on par.
Yeah, but you see, I'm at war with Korea here, and I didn't realize at first that they got their unique field cannon replacement out, and they absolutely tear apart my first wave of troops. They
Uh,
just, I am like, oh my God, what did I do? Because that thing is strong.
yeah.
It is one of the worst unique units in the game. Because it can't move and fire on the same turn, unlike at
Yeah,
the
but
thing it
as a
replaces.
defensive unit,
But
it's
yeah, as a
freaking
defensive unit, oh my God, I was not expecting to be hit by a truck. Like the way their cities and walls are just doing damage to my units, I had to full stop in that war. And that's where I'm saying, if you're like, and this is a scenario, and this is like something I always go back to people, and I always say, you can't you can't stick with a strategy just because it was your strategy.
hmm
If
hmm
I like, and I'm pretty far ahead of the AI right now, and I'm still struggling. If somebody's playing a normal game where they're going to win around turn 300, they're going to lose this war against Korea, and it's just going to cost them. It's just going to cost them. So if something isn't working out, even though like somebody's told you, oh, this is the best strategy, if it's not working out, there's a lot of factors that come up in game that are just unique.
What is happening right now on the screen here? You took over a couple of cities on, on a
Yeah,
different continent.
I found the other continent, and Sweden was still like with regular warriors.
Oh
So
my
I got,
God.
yeah, they had like regular warriors, and I got Nazca, and I was like, I levied the troops, upgraded them, and I took out their city with like two
Holy
swordsmen. On turn 120, I took out their capital with two swordsmen.
And you sword. Oh my God. Wait. So you didn't have you didn't have units here. You
Yeah,
didn't
I
shuttle
levied.
units from
Yep, I levied, upgraded to swordsman, and then because I had Grandmaster's Chapel, I
right.
used knights. And
Uh,
like I said, the
mm.
other continent, for as strong as everyone was on our continent, the other continent was made out of wet paper, except for Babylon.
Except Babylon, of
Yeah,
course. See,
like
that
the
was the thing with Babylon and Barbs too for me. Like
yeah
they would come out with men at arms, and I
yeah.
was like, "Holy shit!"
But yeah, so like I'm just like I got to that continent and my knights were just destroying cities. I was like absolutely just running through people.
Oh man,
Yeah, and once again, that's stuff you have to look out for. The second
yeah,
I met Sweden, I saw our capital, I saw the combat strength of it, and I was like, oh my God, if I can take out that city, and even if I can't hold it for loyalty, I can get a few troops over here, and they are so far behind me that I'll be able to take out those cities with the troops I create, even if I lose the
right,
city.
right. And dude, like, how many industrial zones have you built so far?
A lot. I built a lot of industrial zones this game. I think
So
I,
you build a lot of you got free, you
yep.
got the use of the ability, right? For the
Yeah,
free
and I actually did like that ability. I wish I would have paid more attention to it because if you make corps and armies with with those troops, they remain maintenance free. And I wish I would have
Oh,
thought
that's
to do that. Yeah.
huge, right?
Yeah, I wish I would have done. I mean, I did sort
Mm.
of think of it in game, but I didn't utilize it as much as I should have.
Yeah, you know what? I never even thought of it. I never even thought of it.
Yep, any
That's pretty
unit that
big.
yeah, any unit that you get free maintenance cost on, if you make an army, if you make a corps, that remains maintenance free.
What if you
So,
make an army of one maintenance free and two
yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying. If you make an army with one maintenance free and two units that require maintenance, it remains maintenance free. That I'm
oh
not saying
my
I'm not
God.
saying put I'm saying I think I put a few of the maintenance free units together, which is that's the absolute worst thing you can do. You want
Right.
to abuse the system and make
Okay.
sure you're getting all of your units maintenance free that you can. So when you're playing Byzantium, when you're playing Lincoln, those maintenance free units, make sure you're making corps and armies with units that are costing you.
Can you pause this one here?
Yeah, sure.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, do you want me to back up a little bit? Was there something on screen?
No, no. Well, yeah, just the pillaging thing.
Yeah,
So I guess I can't figure out like what like your musketman there with the yellow
yeah,
health, right?
yep,
Like instead of pillaging the farm to get some health because he's at yellow and that city will bombard it, but
yep.
what you are confident that it won't do anything and your musketman will survive easily? Like I can't figure out the math there. Like what kind of units? Because I saw your knights riding around cities of like 50 strength, right?
Yeah.
um, you kind of have to know like whether they can survive the bombardment, right?
I think I actually um sent that one to die, more or less. I think
Okay.
I think I considered that an acceptable loss because I have so many units around
Yeah,
here, and
right,
I'm
right.
making more and more units.
Uh-huh.
I would be absolutely shocked if I didn't say in video right there. This is I'm going to lose this
Suicide
unit, but it's
mission.
an it's
Yeah,
acceptable loss. Because
gotcha.
because no matter what, like it's not. Our
But generally,
Yep.
your strategy when it comes to pillaging, because I guess you wouldn't send out units that are on the same tech level as cities,
No, because they're
right?
just
To
gonna
get
die.
bombarded.
Nope.
Right, right.
And that's what happens here is I think it's this turn I realize how bad I'm doing against these cities because if you look, Korea has a courser as well. Plus they have their unique cannon here. They're doing so much damage to my units. I think it's either this turn or next turn I pull back and I start upgrading up to line infantry.
Oh yeah, you only one turn away.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
that's why I think I considered this an acceptable loss, is I think I was looking at the tech tree and I have to get to these units. Otherwise, this war is just wasting resources and it's setting me back and it's building war weariness. I need to do something.
Yeah, this looks tough because between the walls, you don't have any siege
I
units
have one
out.
siege unit right here, right
Um,
above
that's a
Zhenju.
that's a siege tower. That's
Yeah.
not a siege unit.
Oh,
That's a
sorry. Yep. Nope. I have no
like you
siege
don't have
units.
like what do they call the trebuchets
Yeah,
or
no,
bombards.
no trebuchet, no bombards. Yeah, no, I'm just slamming into walls.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
stubborn.
because you have so many units, right? Like you
Yeah,
can afford. What is your faith? 500. My God.
I'm making 500 faith per turn.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
But this is
Wave after wave. This is a totally Russian strategy right there.
yeah, but
It's like
no, but
wave
this is
after
this is
wave.
where I say tech advantage wins games. You want to get to the point where I'm a bad domination player. If you watch me in my domination games, I am not good at domination. I'm good at getting an advantage and utilizing the other things. I'm not so good at, oh, let's get a siege unit here. Let's do like let's use the right units for the right task. I'm really good at, well, let's just get my units strong enough that, like you said, I can do the Russian strategy of just overwhelm them with numbers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, like I would say that domination, I'm a very average player at best, but if you get the tech advantage, it doesn't matter how bad you are, you're still going to outperform.
That's right. That's right. Like, where do you get gold? Well, I guess at this point you have enough income coming in because if you're at
Trade
war with
routes.
that,
Yep.
right? So trade routes, because when you're at war with everyone, your trade stops. Like
Yep.
no one wants anything from you anymore. So
But it's commercial hubs, it's
yeah,
trade routes.
yeah,
I don't know if
banks,
I've got it yet, but I got the great merchant that gives you like point 0.5 gold or whatever
extra stuff. Okay, yeah.
for each district
Okay.
on the trade route, which is always huge for me because I got so many trade routes, and they're
And the
all
maintenance-free units, I guess it pays off, huh?
yep.
Because
And I'm
without
running
that,
all of the gold cards if I remember correctly. Like
yeah,
I was
okay,
focusing on
right.
amenities and gold.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like if you can advance down the civics tree, yeah, you can compensate for that.
Yeah. And plus the other thing is my gold per turn isn't telling the full story. I'm pillaging 2 continents
Oh,
right now.
pillaging,
So
yeah,
even though my gold per turn is 200, I'm
yeah,
probably on an average turn making about 500 gold per turn
yeah,
because I'm getting
yeah.
at least 1 or 2 gold pillages most turns.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, war is rough. I mean, listen, I played Grand Columbia game and it was also like turn 230 though. Like I'm still blown away by the by your numbers. What was this? 176 victory or something?
175.
Oh, it's just I don't
Which
know how
is
you do that.
for a no modes game. And once again, you picked this map. Like and also I want people like anyone who's watching. If you want me to play a map, send it to me. I prefer to play games that other people have picked for me. Um, because then if I get a relic on turn 11, hey, it's not my fault. Somebody else picked this game. But two, I always like I think it just adds more. Uh, interest realism if hey somebody else picked this game I'm playing it whatever because anyone can pick a map that they can excel in and then play it
Right.
so
I mean, everyone plays to their advantage, but like with you, yeah, you need a challenge, man,
yeah
because this is
because
ridiculous.
like legitimately like if people say as long as it's not like desert or tundra only like those like ridiculous challenges of tedium I'm not going to do that I have a full-time job and stuff like this is for fun I'm not going to do one of those snow tile only games like because that just doesn't seem exciting to me.
Right. All right. Well, listen. I mean, at this point, I guess I am at my time limit.
uh,
But this was again insightful,
yeah.
as usual. We didn't get enough time to like talk about our next challenge, but we can always do that
Well,
next time.
our next challenge is we're going to play a land-based Portugal game. It's either going to be our continents and islands, our Pangea map. I'd picked a map, but after talking, we didn't like it. So we're going to do a land-heavy Portugal game. And it's going to be a science game, right, Kane?
Yeah, I think so. Unless, we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll change it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But
Your call.
I'll be posting that on Discord. I'll post a picture up on the community of YouTube here. So anyone who wants to play, by all means, jump on, play it. Let us know how you fare in our game as well. It's always interesting to see how other people do.
Yeah, and ask questions. Discord or YouTube, always welcome.
Yeah, yeah. And if you ask us a question, we'll try and cover it in our live stream. If it's a
Oh,
really
we had a list of questions, dude, from
oh, I
Emma.
think hold up, let's look really quick. I think we covered some of them. If not,
Uh,
I can just do a quick synopsis on all of them.
let me send you the image. Oh, you have it, right?
Yep,
Of
I
the
have it.
question.
Yeah, I covered most of it. I might just make a standalone video, like a short or something, where I just answer these. But I feel we
Okay.
covered most of it because stop building monuments, or why do I delay building monuments? And
Well, you don't
it's
really delay building monuments, I don't think. You like bought them in
yeah.
this game
Uh,
or something.
and this is based off the Cree game, but
Okay.
it's for any science game. And the reason I delayed monuments, uh, like in any situation, you have to look at what you're getting and what you're not getting because of it. And monuments are one of those things. Yeah, they provide culture, but so does population expansion, all those other things. And it just comes down to what's going to get you the most yields the soonest.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
anyways, no, I'll cover anything I don't feel because I feel like because we did cover how I'm making the decision between
Yeah.
campus and commercial hubs. Golden Age, yeah, that's 100%. And settled all the cities. You keep settling cities. The question is, I would have never settled all these cities. Usually 12, 15 tops, so they're saying, because I get like 20 some odd cities. If you have the amenities, you should never stop settling. Unless it's dropping your capital down below that plus 20%, you should never stop settling because that city's going to get you a trade route. It's going to get you a campus. It's going to get you something. The thing that should be determining when you stop settling cities is how many amenities your capital is losing, if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, there's a cap there for
Yeah.
sure.
But no, it is 100% based off amenities. But if amenities aren't an issue, you should just keep settling up until about turn 150, 160. At that point, unless it's going to be a spaceport chop city, don't do it. But like, if it's going to provide you a trade route, yeah, do it. If it's going to provide you a campus, keep settling. You're getting yields.
Perfect.
All right.
Makes perfect sense.
Anyway,
Until your settler costs you like 1,500 gold and stuff,
well, yeah,
then
and it depends on how you're getting the cities. You have to balance the cost of city versus all of that. But like if we're taking the cost out of the equation, because you do run into the scenario where
hmm.
you have faith and nothing to spend it on,
Hmm.
really, because great people have gotten too expensive to realistically buy in a quick manner. Yeah, settling the city is never a bad call unless it takes amenities from your core cities.
I was thinking like next science talk, we need to talk about like mid to end game. Because like understanding how to refocus your trade routes and increase the production in your cities to run the science projects and whatnot. Because I feel like I'm missing something there,
Yeah.
maybe. So something to think about, I guess, for us.
Or we could just do a live stream where we just talk science, not a specific game, but we
Uh-huh.
just sort of play through an imaginary game, going, okay, you want in this era, here's what you want to do, and just sort of
Okay.
question
Yeah.
answer. We could do something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
maybe we just put the video from like a Portugal game in the background, a land-based Portugal game, and we just talk science in general.
Sounds good.
All right.
All
But
right,
anyways,
brother.
let's go ahead and stop the stream. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks, guys.